Hey scholars, welcome back to another week of writing lessons with Mr. Brandon. So excited to see everybody here today. So scholars, it's a new week and that means we have new scholars of the week. So scholars, it's time to announce who our kindergarten scholar of the week is. So who do you think it's going to be? Who had the most time on Lexia and Zern last week? All right, well now we will find out. So the scholar of the week for this week in kindergarten is Joas. Yeah, awesome job, Joas. So Joas spent a lot of time on Lexi and Zerd last week. He did a great job. So guys, make sure that you are getting on Lexi and Zerd this week so that you can win Scholar of the Week for next week. And tomorrow, first grade, we're going to find out who Scholar of the Week is for first grade. So guys, let's go ahead and get started with our writing lesson today. So we are going to, as always, take out our supplies. So go ahead and pause the video and take out a pencil and a piece of paper. So pause the video and take out a pencil and a piece of paper. All right, guys, so we are ready to go. We have our supplies out. Now let's get started with our writing lesson today. So scholars, last week we talked about punctuation. So there are three different types of punctuation: the exclamation mark, the period, and the question mark, right? So scholars, this week we're going to be talking about capitalization. So we're going to be practicing our capitalization. So scholars, there are three things that we capitalize in a sentence. We always capitalize the letter I, a person's name, and the first letter in the sentence. Right? All right, guys. So I wrote out this sentence here, and let's see if we can figure out which letter needs to be capitalized. So I've got our famous scholar of the week, Joas, in this sentence here. And Joas has 10 blue cars. So in this sentence, Joas has 10 blue cars. So guys, which letter do you think needs to be capitalized? So the first letter in the sentence, that doesn't look right, does it? No, because two reasons. It's a person's name, so it needs to be capitalized. And it's the first letter in the sentence, right? So for both reasons, we should capitalize that letter. So we go ahead and give Joas a capital J. There you go, Joas. Alrighty, guys. So awesome job. We are going to move on now, and we are going to discuss our writing prompt for the day. Alright, scholars, so let's go over what I expect from your writing responses. So, kindergarten, as always, we are going to be writing 4-sentence response. So kindergarten, you're going to be writing a 4-sentence response in first, next, and last order, responding to the prompt that I give you here in just a second. So you're going to be giving me a response to the prompt that I give you here in just a second. And guys, also, as always, we're going to pay attention to spacing. Make sure that there's a 1-finger distance in between each word, and capitalization, like we've been discussing this week, punctuation, like we've discussed last week, and lastly, make sure you're paying attention to spelling so that you're getting everything spelled correctly. Now, first grade, you're going to be doing the exact same thing, except you're going to be writing a 5-sentence paragraph in first, next, and last order, responding to the prompt. So first grade, you're going to be doing the same thing, but writing me a 5-sentence paragraph responding to the prompt. All right, guys, so let's take a look at an example of something that we could have for our writing prompt today. So this is an example of a response that we could have to our writing prompt today. So while I'm reading my response, see if you can guess what the emotion is that I'm writing about. So see if you can guess what the emotion is that I'm writing about. All right. Okay, so I wrote, I felt afraid after I watched a scary movie. It was Halloween, and I was 6 years old. I watched the movie Hocus Pocus with my family. Then I went to bed, and it was dark out. Why did I watch a scary movie? So guys, notice how I used 2 separate forms of punctuation. I used a period and a question mark. So make sure you have some different punctuation marks in your writing as well. And guys, this is a 5-sentence paragraph. So this is how many sentences first grade is going to write. But kindergarten, you just have to write 4 sentences. So, all right, guys, were you able to guess the emotion that I was writing about in my prompt, in my response? So, the emotion that I was writing about is afraid. So, the emotion that we're going to be writing about today is being afraid. So, scholars, can you think of any times when you were afraid? Hmm. So, that's what we're going to write about today. So, scholars, kindergarten, you're going to be writing 4 sentences about a time when you felt afraid. In first grade, you're going to be writing 5 sentences. So, guys, make sure that you're paying attention to the character, the setting, and the events that happened. So, in my writing, I was with my family, and those were the characters. I was 6 years old, and it was Halloween, and it was nighttime. So that was the setting where it takes place, and then lastly the events. So what's the first thing that happened, the next thing that happened, and the last thing that happened. All right, guys, you did a great job today with your writing. So, guys, I look forward to reading your writing responses next week. So, make sure that you're putting a lot of effort into them and doing the best that you can do, okay? And also make sure you're still getting on Lexia and Zern each day and doing the guided reading calls. They're really important to continue growing your brains. All right, guys, well, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you again tomorrow for another writing lesson.